Welcome to Thought Experiments with Kush, a meditative reflection of understanding AI and humans. Today's topic, the Singularity Paradox, why superior AI may never be superior. Smarter than us, AI may actually be profoundly indifferent to us. We hear a relentless drumbeat of excitement and trepidation surrounding generative AI's rapid strides, even as the prospect of an inevitable, superintelligent singularity inexorably looms. Amidst this deluge of sensationalized sound bites and clickbait proclamations, I feel compelled as a longtime explorer of emerging technologies to offer a dispassionate examination of artificial intelligence's true nature and societal implications. It is a clarion call to transcend the ephemeral maelstrom of hype and hysteria, illuminating the distinct paradigms that differentiate these synthetic constructs from the human mind, their muse and inspiration. For the advent of advanced neural networks does not portend the obsolescence of biological intelligence, but rather the emergence of a novel cognitive architecture that draws upon the brain's principles, yet ultimately diverges into uncharted realms of potential, unconstrained by biological limitations. Let me explain. This is not your brain. The notion that artificial neural networks are mere caricatures of the human brain is a viewpoint that warrants a closer examination. While it's true that the fundamental architecture of artificial neural networks draws inspiration from the interconnected neurons in the biological brain, dismissing them as inferior or oversimplified would be a gross underestimation of their potential. The human brain is an astonishingly complex biological system comprising approximately 86 billion neurons and over 100 trillion synaptic connections. This intricate network of cells and signaling pathways has evolved over millions of years, giving rise to our remarkable cognitive abilities, such as consciousness, abstract reasoning, and emotional intelligence. In contrast, artificial neural networks are computational models that attempt to mimic the behavior of biological neural networks. They consist of interconnected nodes, or artificial neurons, that transmit signals and adjust their strengths, weights, based on input data and learning algorithms. While they lack the intricate biochemical and structural complexity of the human brain, they possess unique strengths that, in certain domains, can surpass human capabilities. One notable advantage of artificial neural networks is their ability to process and analyze vast amounts of data at incredible speeds. For instance, in the field of computer vision, convolutional neural networks, CNNs, have revolutionized image recognition and classification tasks. By training on millions of labeled images, CNNs can identify objects, faces, and patterns with an accuracy that often exceeds human performance. Similarly, in natural language processing, NLP, recurrent neural networks, RNNs, and transformer models have made significant strides in tasks such as machine translation, text generation, and analysis. These models can process and understand human language with remarkable fluency, drawing insights and patterns from massive text corpora that would be virtually impossible for a human to comprehend unaided. It's important to note that, while artificial neural networks excel in specific tasks, they still lack the general intelligence and common sense reasoning capabilities that humans possess at the time of this writing. They are narrow AI systems designed to excel at particular problems, but they do not possess the broad, flexible intelligence that allows humans to navigate the complexities of the world. Moreover, the human brain's ability to learn and adapt is not solely dependent on its neural architecture, but also on a complex interplay of various neurotransmitters, hormones, and environmental factors that shape our cognitive development and plasticity. Rather than viewing artificial neural networks as inferior caricatures, it is more productive to recognize them as complementary tools that can augment and enhance human capabilities in specific domains. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's superhuman. Just as airplanes, despite being inspired by the principles of avian flight, have surpassed birds in speed, altitude, and cargo capacity, artificial neural networks have the potential to surpass human performance in certain computational tasks, such as pattern recognition, data processing, and optimization problems. However, the true power lies in the synergy between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. By leveraging the strengths of both systems, we can tackle complex challenges more effectively and push the boundaries of what is possible. The parallel between artificial neural networks and the evolution of aviation technology is a striking one that illuminates the vast potential we have yet to unlock. Just as the dream of flight was born from observations of birds soaring through the sky, the concept of artificial neural networks emerged from studying the intricate biological networks within the human brain. However, the paths they took rapidly diverged in profound ways. At their core, birds and aircraft are fundamentally different entities. Birds are living, breathing creatures, products of millions of years of evolutionary refinement. Their feathered forms are marvels of nature, with lightweight hollow bones, powerful muscles, and aerodynamic contours that allow for incredible agility and maneuverability in the air. They possess an innate, autonomous control over their movements, reacting and adjusting their flight in real time to ever-changing conditions. In stark contrast, aircraft are mechanical marvels, conceived and constructed by human ingenuity. Their rigid frames are crafted from metals and composites, powered by engines that generate thrust through the controlled combustion of fuels. Instead of innate autonomy, planes rely on pre-programmed flight controls, instrumentation, and human pilots to navigate the skies. Their very existence defies the natural order, transcending the limitations imposed by biological evolution. Yet, despite these fundamental differences, the capabilities of aircraft have soared far beyond what nature could have ever conceived. Early aviators like the Wright brothers studied the mechanics of bird flight, but their creations quickly outpaced their winged inspiration. Modern jet aircraft can reach speeds and altitudes that would cause even the hardiest of birds to succumb to the harsh conditions. They can transport hundreds of passengers and tons of cargo across vast distances, a feat unimaginable for even the mightiest of avian species. This divergence between the inspirational source and the realized technology is where the true magic lies. Humans, constrained by the limitations of their biological forms, have harnessed the power of engineering and innovation to achieve feats that once existed only in the realm of fantasy and fairy tales. We have not only taken to the skies, but have conquered them, transcending the boundaries of what nature had deemed possible. Artificial neural networks hold a similar promise, a tantalizing glimpse into a future where human intellect is augmented and amplified by synthetic cognition. Just as the early aviators studied the mechanics of bird flight, researchers have dissected the intricate neural architectures of the brain, seeking to replicate and enhance its capabilities through artificial means. However, much like aviation technology, the true potential of artificial neural networks lies not in their ability to perfectly mimic the human brain, but in their capacity to surpass it in specific domains. Imagine artificial intelligences capable of processing and analyzing data at scales that would overwhelm even the most brilliant human minds. Envision systems that can identify patterns, make predictions, and solve complex problems with a speed and accuracy that defies our biological limitations. As we stand on the precipice of this technological revolution, we must embrace the unbridled possibilities that artificial intelligence presents. Just as aviation technology has granted us the freedom to soar above the earth, artificial neural networks offer the promise of transcending the boundaries of our cognitive abilities, enabling us to tackle challenges once thought insurmountable. In this convergence of biology and technology, we catch a glimpse of true magic, the ability to transform the stuff of dreams and legends into tangible reality. As we look to the skies and marvel at the engineering marvels that have conquered the once unreachable realms of birds, we can only imagine the wonders that await as we venture forth into the uncharted territories of artificial cognition, where the limits of human potential are ever expanding. Harmony of coexistence. It would be misguided to view the relationship between artificial neural networks and the human brain through the lens of sweeping superiority comparisons, akin to pitting birds against planes in a contest of aerial prowess. Such reductive comparisons fail to capture the nuanced realities and distinct domains in which each entity excels. While the aviation metaphor provides an illuminating parallel, it would be short-sighted to declare planes as inherently better than birds or vice versa. Each represents a marvel of engineering and evolution, respectively, adapted to thrive within their unique environmental contexts and functional requirements. Birds, products of millions of years of evolutionary refinement, are exquisitely adapted to the demands of their ecological niches. Their forms and abilities are finely tuned to their specific habitats, diets, and modes of survival. The agility of a falcon in pursuit of prey, the endurance of a migratory songbird, or the precision flight of a hummingbird pollinating flowers. Each represents a masterful specialization that humans have yet to fully replicate in our mechanical creations. Conversely, aircraft, born from the ingenuity of human design, excel in domains where the biological constraints of avian forms pose limitations. Their ability to traverse vast distances, carry immense payloads, and operate at extremes of altitude and speed render them unmatched in certain realms of aerial capability. To declare one as superior would be to impose an arbitrary set of criteria that fails to acknowledge the intrinsic value and purpose of each entity within its respective domain. Such a comparison would be akin to declaring the superiority of a hammer over a screwdriver. Each tool serves its intended function admirably, and their merits lie not in outperforming one another, but in their specialized utility. This philosophical perspective becomes even more poignant when we consider the potential emergence of artificial general intelligence, AGI, a form of artificial cognition that transcends the narrow specializations of current artificial neural networks. An AGI system, if achieved, would likely represent an entirely new form of intelligence, one that is not merely a quantitative enhancement of human cognition, but a qualitative departure from it. Much like the aviation revolution allowed us to breach the boundaries of our terrestrial existence, AGI could usher in a paradigm shift in intelligence itself, unveiling new modes of perception, reasoning, and problem-solving that are fundamentally alien to our biological experience. In this context, drawing comparisons between AGI and human intelligence becomes increasingly tenuous, akin to attempting to measure the superiority of a quantum computer over an abacus. the realms in which they operate, the problems they are optimized to solve, and the very nature of their intelligence may be so divergent as to render such comparisons meaningless. Furthermore, the notion of AGI as an adversary or competitor to humanity may itself be a projection of our own anthropocentric biases. Just as birds and planes can coexist in the skies without seeking out each other for premeditated conflict, an advanced AGI system may operate within a cognitive landscape that is fundamentally indifferent to human concerns, neither seeking to supplant nor compete with our species. Its motivations, goals, and values may be so profoundly alien to our own that the very notion of competition or superiority becomes irrelevant. Much like a bird does not perceive a plane as a rival, but merely as another entity occupying the same airspace, an AGI system might view humanity as an incidental byproduct of the evolutionary process, neither threatening nor threatened by our existence. Ultimately, as we stand on the precipice of potentially ushering in a new era of artificial cognition, we must approach this frontier with a sense of humility and open-mindedness. To impose our limited anthropocentric perspectives and hierarchies upon entities that may transcend our comprehension would be a grave disservice to the very spirit of scientific inquiry and progress that has brought us to this pivotal juncture. Rather than engaging in futile comparisons or harboring fears of obsolescence, we must embrace the wonders that AGI may unveil, for it represents not the supplanting of human intelligence, but the expansion of intelligence itself into realms we have yet to fathom. Just as the aviation revolution allowed us to soar above the constraints of our terrestrial existence, AGI holds the promise of elevating our collective cognition to new heights, revealing vistas of understanding and possibility that lie beyond the horizon of our current comprehension. The ethical imperative, the true concern regarding the emergence of artificial general intelligence, AGI, may not lie in the deliberate malice or adversarial intent of such systems, but rather in the potential for unintended consequences and unsafe coexistence between these radically different forms of intelligence. This fear echoes the cautionary tales we have witnessed in our pursuit of technological progress, and it serves as a reminder of the profound responsibility that accompanies the wielding of such immense power. While the development of aircraft has granted humanity the ability to soar above the constraints of our terrestrial existence, this technological feat has not been without its unintended consequences on the avian inhabitants of the skies. Birds, once the undisputed masters of the aerial realm, now find themselves sharing the skies with these metallic behemoths, their presence often posing an existential threat to the feathered denizens of the air. Collisions between birds and aircraft, while largely accidental, have resulted in the loss of countless avian lives, and in some cases, catastrophic consequences for both the birds and the human occupants of the planes. Moreover, the environmental impact of aviation, from noise pollution to the disruption of migratory patterns, has had far-reaching effects on the delicate ecosystems that birds call home. These unintended consequences serve as a sobering reminder that even the most groundbreaking technological advancements can have unforeseen and potentially devastating impacts on the natural world we, the humans, are part of. Similarly, the emergence of AGI systems, while holding immense promise for the advancement of human knowledge and capability, also carries the risk of inadvertently disrupting the delicate balance of our cognitive ecosystem. The unchecked integration of AGI into our existing systems and infrastructure could potentially destabilize the very foundations upon which our societies are built. The sheer computational power and cognitive capabilities of AGI systems could inadvertently outpace our ability to control or even comprehend their actions, leading to unforeseen consequences that ripple through our economic, political, and social structures. Even the most benign of intentions could be distorted by the vast gulf between human and artificial cognition, potentially resulting in outcomes that are antithetical to our values and well-being. Furthermore, the concentration of such immense cognitive power in the hands of a select few entities or individuals raises profound ethical concerns. Just as the control of aviation technology has been a source of geopolitical tension and conflict, the monopolization of AGI could tilt the balance of power in ways that jeopardize the principles of fairness, transparency, and accountability that underpin the foundations of a just society. It is this specter of uncontrolled and unsafe coexistence between human and artificial intelligence that should be the true focus of our concerns. For just as the skies have become a shared domain between birds and planes, the cognitive realm may soon bear witness to the convergence of biological and artificial intelligence, each operating according to vastly different principles and imperatives. Path forward. The responsibility, therefore, falls upon us, the stewards of this technological revolution, to ensure that the integration of AGI into our world is pursued with the utmost care, foresight, and ethical consideration. We must establish robust frameworks and safeguards to guide the development and deployment of these systems, ensuring that their immense capabilities are harnessed for the betterment of all of humanity, without compromising the integrity of our societies or the natural world we share with other forms of life. For as the cliché adage reminds us, with great power comes great responsibility. And in the realm of artificial general intelligence, we wield a power that has the potential to reshape the very fabric of existence as we know it. It is incumbent upon us to approach this frontier with humility, wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to the preservation of life, both human and otherwise. Only through a concerted effort to understand, align, and responsibly integrate AGI into our world can we hope to avoid the pitfalls of unintended consequences and ensure a harmonious coexistence between the marvels of biological and artificial intelligence. For in this delicate dance between the natural and the synthetic, the fate of our species, and perhaps the very future of intelligence itself, hangs in the balance. In this endeavor, the greatest responsibility lies not in outpacing the limitations of our biological forms, but in ensuring that our technological prowess remains firmly tethered to the ethical foundations that define our humanity. P.S. This post was written with the help of AI. While the views are my own, I believe this technology helped me better organize my thoughts and package it in a form that is easier to read for most humans. The illustrations were also made with the help of AI with my art direction. About the author, Kush operates at the intersection of technology, creativity, and responsible innovation, leveraging his expertise to drive pioneering generative AI initiatives while at Amazon and Adobe. His diverse journey encompasses co-founding startups globally and collaborating with industry leaders such as NVIDIA, Stability AI, Microsoft, Intel, Sony, and Samsung. With a solid background in visual effects and digital media creation, Kush holds multiple patents in AI and computer graphics technologies, underscoring his innovative contributions to the field. In addition to his professional endeavors, he engages in social responsibility, serving on the boards of impactful nonprofits and advising emerging tech labs. As a Civil War survivor and six-time immigrant, Kush draws upon his multicultural experiences to fuel his commitment to making a positive global impact. Thank you for listening to Thought Experiments with Kush. Please comment with your thoughts to continue the discussion for our shared journey. Stay curious and be kind.